The Missouri Compromise of 1820 is known as one of the most pivotal moments in early American history and was the first major effort to address the contentious issue of slavery and its expansion into the Western territories. The compromise sought to balance the political power between the North and the South by establishing a clear boundary for the expansion of slavery in the United States. This event had lasting effects, but what changes in the North and the South were brought by the proposal and creation of the Compromise of 1820. Before the Compromise in the early 19th century, the United States was experiencing rapid expansion westward, and as the new states and territories were formed, a major issue arose. Would these new states allow slavery, and how would that affect the delicate political balance between free and slave states in the Union? By 1819, Missouri applied for a statehood, and its application exposed the tension between the North and the South regarding the issue of slavery. At the time, the Union had 22 states, 11 free states, and 11 slave states. So admitting Missouri as a slave state would tip the balance in favor of the South, a prospect that alarmed many in the North. Additionally, the question of whether slavery would be allowed in new Western territories, adding to the growing sectional divide, the Missouri Compromise emerged as a response to these tensions, proposing a solution that would preserve the balance of power in the Senate and address the future of slavery in the territories. The proposal was introduced by Henry Clay, Speaker of the House of Representatives, and became law in 1820. This law or compromise was the Compromise of 1820, also known as the Missouri Compromise, and along with it came many parts that made it decently fair for both the North and the South to agree on. First, the big question was if Missouri was going to become a free state or a slave state. Henry Clay proposed that Missouri would be admitted as a slave state, which would keep the South in political power and the Senate intact. This was seen as a victory for the South, as they gained another state that would allow slavery. But to maintain the balance of power, Maine was admitted as a free state, counteracting the addition of Missouri as a slave state. This was the provision needed to help appease the North as they gained a new free state, ensuring they retained equal representation in the Senate. Second, the most enduring provision of the compromise was the establishment of a geographical line at the latitude 36 degrees 30, which would become the boundary between free and slave territories in the Western territories. Although both regions of the North and South could come to an agreement, there were some negative and positive impacts of the Compromise of 1820 on each other. In the North, the Missouri Compromise was seen as a temporary solution to the growing sectional tensions between free and slave states. It ensured that the North maintained an equal number of free and slave states in the Senate, which were crucial for preserving their political influence in federal government. The provision that established the 36-degree-30 line also created a clear boundary that limited the potential expansion of slavery into the Western territories, which was celebrated by abolitionists and anti-slavery advocates. However, the compromise did not eliminate the issue of slavery from national politics. While it temporarily alleviated the tensions between North and South, it did not satisfy the growing calls for the abolition of slavery in the South, and it left unresolved questions about slavery's expansion into new territories in the future. The Missouri Compromise was, therefore, a temporary peace that delayed a more profound reckoning with slavery and its place in the nation. For the South, the Missouri Compromise was a victory in the short term. The admission of Missouri as a slave state preserved the political power of the slaveholding South, preventing the North from gaining dominance in Congress. The establishment of the 36-degree-30 line was seen as a way to secure the future of slavery in new territories and states south of the line. However, the Missouri Compromise also underscored the growing sectional divide The South's reliance on slavery for economic prosperity was becoming more entrenched, and the Compromise's geographical line highlighted the extent to which the issue of slavery would shape the future of the nation. Through the Compromise temporarily quelled conflicts, it also increased the sense of Southern dependence on slavery and the fear that future political compromises would eventually lead to the abolition of slavery altogether. The perspectives surrounding the Missouri Compromise revealed deep divisions between the North and the South. Northern abolitionists saw the compromise as a necessary evil, a temporary measure that avoided a full-blown national crisis. They viewed the geographic line with cautious optimism, hoping that the spread of slavery could be checked in the new territories. On the other hand, Southerners saw the Missouri Compromise as a victory that protected their way of life and the institution of slavery. They were concerned that the eventual shift in the balance of power in favor of free states would threaten their economic system, which was built on slavery. Despite these differing views, the Missouri Compromise is historically significant for its role in delaying the Civil War. While it did not solve the problem of slavery, it postponed the inevitable conflict, allowing for further debate and division. It also demonstrated the extent to which the United States was divided over the issue of slavery, with the North and South growing increasingly polarized in their views. The Missouri Compromise of 1820 played a crucial role in shaping the future of the United States. By temporarily balancing the power between free states and slave states, it helped to avert immediate conflict, but it also set the stage for future confrontations over the issue of slavery. The 36-degree 30 line, which divided the country between free and slave territories, would later be tested in the 1850s with the passage of the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which repealed the Missouri Compromise and reignited sectional tensions. In conclusion, the Missouri Compromise was a significant event in American history. It had far-reaching effects on both the North and the South, shaping the political landscape for decades. While it temporarily solved the question of slavery's expansion, it also deepened the divide between the North and South, setting the stage for the Civil War. The Compromise is a reminder that political solutions to deeply divisive issues are often temporary, and that lasting solutions require more than just compromises. They require true reconciliation and understanding. Thank you for watching our documentary. We hope you took in the information we put out for you, and we hope you enjoyed this video.